Welcome to Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection. And hot off the press, the numbers are out for the Tucson Housing Market Report for December 2023. I'm going to go over the December numbers and talk about how we fared for the year end of 2023 and what I think is going to go on in 2024. So stay tuned to what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. Hello, my name's Tyler Ford, Tucson, Arizona with eXp Realty. And again, welcome to another episode of my Tucson Housing Market Report. And before I dive on into the numbers, I want to do a little housekeeping. Tucson Association of Realtors has made a big change in terms of what they're going to provide in terms of our monthly reports. They're using a new vendor, so the reports are going to change significantly. I'm going to navigate it and try to keep it somewhat consistent to what you've been used to, but the charts are going to be different and how they show the numbers are slightly different. So going to try not to make things confusing and simplify it. But again, just a heads up, you will be seeing different reports moving forward. And again, I'm going to try to keep some consistency with the reports. But there's some cool things where I can dive a little bit deeper into the numbers, but some of it's a little bit confusing, and the reports that they're showing are not as user friendly. So again, I'll make sense out of it, but just a heads up. But diving on into the numbers, just a little recap. At the beginning of the year of 2023, I made some predictions. One of my predictions was I thought the market would finish slightly negative or flat. I was slightly right. Then the market was pretty much flat. We finished 2.7% from an appreciation rate year over year, which is a huge change over the last 2 years because we saw double-digit appreciation and the market was on fire. Buyers were extremely frustrated because they were having to compete with multiple people, and properties were getting well above list. But in 2023, the landscape definitely changed. Things slowed down because of the rising interest rate environment. And again, we finished year over year 2.7% from an appreciation standpoint. So the market's definitely slowed down, is going sideways. And at the end of the video, I'll make some predictions for 2024. So let's dive on into the numbers. The first number I want to dive into is what we call percentage of list. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price is the seller getting? And just a side note, it doesn't take into consideration price reduction. So if somebody lists a home, does a price reduction, the percentage of list is based on that final list price. So it's somewhat deceiving just because if somebody does a price reduction, you don't know for how much. And again, it's based on the final price. But I do like to track it because it does show a trend, and trends are your friend. So percentage of list on a single family home for December 2023 was 98.7%. So if a home's priced right, sellers are getting slightly below the list price on a single family home. For townhomes and condos, percentage of list was 99.3% for townhomes and condos. So again, if listed correctly in the MLS, sellers are getting pretty close to their list price when listing a home in the MLS. The next number I'm going to cover is what we call months supply of inventory, and that is if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off in the MLS? It's what is called months supply of inventory. So for December 2023, month supply of inventory for single family homes was 2.4 months or 72 days. For townhomes and condos, month supply of inventory was 1.9 months or 57 days. So if no other homes were to hit the market, single family homes, townhomes, or condos, all the inventory would be sold off in 72 days. Now let's dive into days on market, or DOM for short. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, how long does it take from the time that you list until the time that it goes under contract? And if you're a seller out there, you want to pay attention to days on market, because if your home's on the market and you're starting to exceed days on market, it typically means your home might be overpriced. So prior to listing, you want to do a good job running the comps, looking at average dollars per square foot, days on market, and the detriment to any listing is overpricing your home, because if it starts to sit, sellers begin to wonder what is wrong with this home. So it's really, really important to price your your home correctly. And again, if your home's starting to exceed days on market, it might mean that your home's overpriced. So days on market for single family homes for December 2023 was 44 days. So on average, it took 44 days for a home to go under contract, single family home. Townhomes and condos, days on market, 28 days. So if you're a buyer out there, also pay attention to days on market and the comps, because again, typically if a home's starting to exceed that, it's typically overpriced. So you want to really think about your offer, and days on market will certainly help you do so. Now let's dive into what Tucson home prices did for December 2023. There's a number in here that is going to shock you. It certainly shocked me. So for single family homes listed in MLS for December 2023, the median home price was $385,000, up year over year 2.7%. So we did finish slightly positive on the year. Like I said, I thought we would be negative. So 2.7% single family homes. For townhomes and condos, here's the big shocker. You ready? Townhomes and condos, we finished in December 2023, $248,500, down month over month, $43,575, and down year over year 0.4%. And I think there might have been a mistake. That's a huge month over month. And we were way up, and townhomes and condos are a hot commodity just because of affordability. People were gravitating towards townhomes and condos just because they were less expensive and they were able to qualify from a debt to income ratio. So even though you're going to see on the report, that's it. I do think that, that's a huge month over month, 43,575 downturn month over month. So that's what they reported. I'm a little suspicious of that number, but that's what it is. So all in all, for the year, the median home price pretty much flat, both townhomes and condos and single family homes in the MLS for December 2023. This next number I'm going to go over is what we call the Affordability Index. And I got a glimpse of the new report like I talked about at the beginning of the video, and they're not including the Affordability Index, which I was a little disappointed. I made a phone call to TAR to see if they could add it back on, because I do think it's a valuable index. But it's a little confusing. I did a video, if you click on this link, that explains it. But the lower the number, the more expensive and the less affordable homes are. The higher the number, the less expensive and the more affordable homes are. So anything 100 or below means that buyers are starting to be priced out of the market based on affordability and their purchase power in terms of their debt to income ratio. And that's why townhomes and condos have been a hot commodity, because people haven't been able to qualify from a debt to income ratio. So again, 100 or below means that buyers are being priced out of the market. 100 plus means that buyers are back into the market and they're able to afford a home and then have income, discretionary income left over after they buy a mortgage. So the Affordability Index for December 2023 for single family homes was 78, which again means that a lot of buyers are being priced out of this market from a purchasing power standpoint and their debt to income ratio. On townhomes and condos, this number changed dramatically just because, like I talked about the median home price, the median home price for townhomes and condos went down significantly, which had a huge impact on the affordability index of 121. So it means, based on that median home price, if it's right, that buyers are now able to afford townhomes and condos and then have discretionary income left over. So again, that's the affordability index. I'm going to do my best to hopefully be able to keep it, but first glimpse at the new report, it's not included. So next month when I do January, I'll let you know whether I'm going to continue with it or if it's no longer going to be provided. This next number I'm going to cover is inventory levels. My favorite number, one that I track. In my opinion, it's the leading indicator, Economics 101, supply and demand. And when COVID hit, we had inventory levels dramatically reduce. We had demand go up, which caused double-digit appreciation. We have come off the lows. Inventory levels have risen slightly, but again, in order for this market, and I get this question all the time, do you think this market's going to pull back significantly? And I've had a change of opinion. Unless we get a huge surge of inventory, I'm just not seeing it. So I think home values are going to go sideways depending on inventory levels. And again, I just don't think we're going to see a huge surge in inventory, which would then drastically reduce home values. So right now, inventory levels in the MLS for December 2023 for single family homes, right now there's 2,111 active listings, which is down year over year 13.4%. So inventory levels are actually down year over year, which could be a little could cause upward pressure on prices come buying season. So as Tucson heads into the buying season of the spring, with inventory levels being lower than what they normally are, it could put upward pressure on prices. And if interest rates go sideways or go lower and inventory levels are lower than they were, again, home prices could continue to go up. For townhomes and condos, inventory levels, you're looking at 268 active listings, again, down year over year, 14.4%. So starting into the beginning of the year, inventory levels are lower than what they were last year, which good thing for sellers, not so great for buyers. So we'll see what happens as we head on into the spring, and I will continue to track inventory levels here in Tucson. If you're one to want to geek out on the numbers, I would encourage you to head on over to Tucson Homes and Lots. And if you scroll down on the home page, you're going to see a button that says Tucson Monthly Market Update. If you click on that, up comes the blog post that I do each and every month. And if you scroll down towards the bottom of the blog post, there's a link here that says Tucson Housing Market Update. So if you want to geek out on the numbers, you can click on that, and up comes a PDF where it dives into a lot more numbers that I didn't cover. So there's a lot of really good information. So again, if you want to dive deeper into what's going on here in the Tucson housing market, I would encourage you to check out the full report. Well, that's a wrap for my December 2023 Tucson Housing Market Report. Just to recap, the median home price for single family homes was slightly up. For townhomes and condos, it was down. And again, I think there might have been a mistake in that number. So my prediction for 2024 is that we're going to go back to normality in terms of appreciation. And again, it all depends on interest rates and inventory levels, which you want to keep a watch on. But in terms of interest rates, going into an election year, I think we're going to go sideways, slightly down. Too far down in terms of the Fed's lowering rates could be the detriment to this market and drastically increase home values. So I think sideways from here, we're going to see normal appreciation in 2024 of anywhere from 4 to 8% is my guess for the year. But again, that could be higher depending on interest rates and depending on inventory. So that's my prediction for 2024. There's going to be more buyer demand. There's actually going to be more inventory and listings. Sellers are going to want to get off. There's a lot of pent up demand in terms of sellers wanting to sell that weren't able to sell because they didn't want to sell a home and get off a low. A lot of people are in the high 2s, low 3s on a 30-year fixed. And then if they were to have sold a home, they would have then got a more expensive home at a much higher rate, and it just didn't make sense. So there were a lot of sellers out there that decided not to sell. But as interest rates have come down slightly, inventory levels have gone up. There's more options for sellers out there. So I do think as a buyer out there, you're going to see a lot more listings and options and better listings out there, because the listings and what buyers have had to choose from over the last couple of years have been slim pickings. So I think it's a good thing for this market. Transaction volume, I think, will start to increase. Transaction volume's been cut in half based on interest rates going up and just not a lot of listings out there and not a lot of good inventory to choose from. So the market's definitely shifting and changing. But again, the two things that I would really pay attention to are interest rates and inventory levels. And based on what happens with those two things is going to determine what's going to happen in 2024. But each and every month, I'm going to do my Tucson Housing Market Report. And like I said, the report's going to change slightly. So I'm going to navigate that, try to keep some consistency. But again, things are going to be a little bit different moving forward. So that's a wrap for my Tucson Housing Market Report, December 2023. Hey, thanks for watching my Tucson Housing Market Report. I really appreciate it. If you got value out of it, do me a huge favor. Give me an internet high five by liking the video. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and comment below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection, you can subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button, and each and every time a video comes out, you're going to be notified. In the meantime, make it a great day. Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's why you need a local Tucson expert real estate partner. With all the exciting reasons you have for buying a home, one of the biggest reasons is it can dramatically increase your family's wealth. So whether you're looking to purchase your first home, your next home, a second home, an investment property, or maybe you want to sell your home, choosing an experienced real estate expert to help you will make it a smooth and easy process. And choosing the right realtor can make the difference of more money in your pocket after closing. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, or maybe just interested in knowing what your home's worth, contact Tyler Ford and Team today. Call Tyler Ford and Team today at 520-775-3400. That's 520-775-3400.